ఆయన చెప్పాల్సిన పాఠం చెప్పకుండా ఆగిపోయేవారు.
నేను అలా చేయనులేండి.
మీకే చెప్తున్నాను సార్. సార్ ఎంతమంది వచ్చారనేది కాదు, ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ పర్సన్స్ ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు, సో వాళ్ళకి మనం న్యాయం చేయాలి, అంతవరకే సార్.
You have mirrored my thought by asking how many people are interested in practicing cybercrime or cybercrime cases. You have mirrored my thoughts, అన్నాను కదా.
ఓకే 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 సార్. ఓకే.
Thanks are due to you for that. So, can we start?
Yes, sir. We can start. Sir, live starting. We can go through.
First of all, I'm sorry that we are not projecting any image of my side, but I am trying to share the outline today due to paucity of time, as well as the subject is also very abstract. So the thing is, good evening everybody. Good evening Sridhar Madam, Fanigaru and the Egna Legal team. Today's topic is about blocking domain names of websites, more so are declared in B&W rules. And then second topic would be balancing freedom of expression with quote unquote national security concerns. And we also deal with the live example of a case study of Mr. K. Nambiar versus Union of India. This is with regard to blocking of websites. So today, here's the concise outline which I prepared. Explain the significance of blocking domain names. Then highlight the need for effective rules of cyberspace. So the topic 1 talks about significance of blocking domains. So as I see, many people who are youngsters also might have downloaded free movies, downloaded free music from BitTorrents. How many people have done that? Say yes, because all might be muted, but they can unmute themselves and respond. If not, show me on the chat box.
Yes, sir.
You're watching, sir, simply.
Exactly. So
movie rules.
Yeah, movies, yeah, whatever it may be. So you know that it is illegal because you are depriving the original film owners' rights or distributor rights, who is supposed to screen in a theater, if not on the OTT platform now, or social media platform also now. Netflix, then several places are there where the distributors or the original producers gain rights as well as sell their rights to the appropriate streamers who stream their lawful copyright protected film, music, video and whatnot. So you are seeing these on a free site using a BitTorrent or a streaming site or from the dark web. Now, can you just delve on the subject? What you are doing is not right, you know, but at the same time, you don't want to waste money or you want to save money. At the same time, you are using these torrents to download and view on your laptop or in your home theater for that matter, entertaining all the household, if not friend circle, if not all the classmates or whatever it may be. But there is an issue here. What is that issue? The lawful website owners like OTT, who have the original rights they have purchased with money, are deprived of their revenue, which you are depriving them out of. See, lawfully you should have bought a ticket and seen that, but you have bypassed that and you are seeing from your own source, downloading from some websites. Now comes the websites. Now, if the original rights owner discovers, say, movie Sholay is there, or the latest Oppenheimer is there. Sholay, like up to 60 years, the copyright protection is there. It's also an intellectual property rights issue also. Not only the cyber crime, the superset is intellectual property rights being protected. Why? one of the most important intellectual property is copyright. That you have violated because copyright is sold or bought or registered on somebody else's name, whose name only has to be used for the return on income of the investment he made out of the watching revenues. So a film is watched or downloaded by X amount or X people. So each download costs, like we pay on the certain platforms, every download costs $3 or $2. But at the entire home household watches that $3 movie, but they are saving, or in the same way they are saving $100 or $30. If we buy same family consists of three, so each ticket would cost $10. So $30 you have saved, if not $27 minus the three. So 30 minus 3, $27 you have saved. At the same time, you are watching the movie at the comfort of your household. In your couch, you are watching happily with your family with all the freedom, which you might not enjoy in the theaters. So there is a balance. So what I mean to say is, if the lawful holder of the rights knows that you have downloaded from X site, X means not now, it's not no more Twitter. Now I am talking about, say, ABC site. I should say ABC site. So the now ABC site is a dupe site, as a fraud site, which is allowing you to download or stream a movie which has got a lawful rights from somewhere else, whose original owner has all the rights to display, stream, or sell. Now, he has all the rights to block this ABC site, which is giving the same content or same services. Now you got the real frame of the subject.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
It
what
is
he
something
does
similar.
exactly? So he writes to the authorities, and the authorities will inform the internet service providers to block these sites. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
the first part is the significance of blocking domain names. We have covered that. Now comes effective rules in cyberspace. What are the effective rules? So cyberspace is not constrained to boundaries or limits. There is no limits or boundaries for the cyberspace. It is across globe. So it is intercontinental and international and what say counties or jurisdictions or states. So, effective rules are, first of all, one is the law of the land. Second, the international rules. What are those? Then the law enforcement agencies of the law of the land. So these are all coming into picture. More discussions can be having if we take up an international case, but we limit our discussion to law of the land. So what are the law of the land rules? Immediately after 2018, pre-COVID, post-COVID, see, I'm just touch basing about the other world. Other world is pharmaceutical world. There were many claims by many websites which were claiming that this drug will cure the COVID. This drug will give you oxygen. This drug will give you more immunity. All these, whether good or bad, true or false, they claimed, and many people have fallen prey to those advertisements, or they might have even bought the medicines. Now, from where? From these websites. So, what is the guideline? In last discussion, some phone stuff is being transmitted through an intermediary, and the child is connected to the dark world, but the entire transaction is happening right under the nose of an intermediary who is governed and monitored and controlled by the internet service provider, who in turn is accountable and answerable to the government of India. Okay, so this is the boundaries set by the government of India, where foreign website is
Sir, can you
exploiting
please
Indian
repeat it?
market.
I didn't get it, sir. I didn't get it. Post-COVID, there were so many advertisements. After that, sir, please. Sorry.
See, pre-COVID or during COVID, there were several websites hosted.
Mm.
They are purely pharmaceutical websites claiming additional gain or mileage or exploiting the depressed or what to say excited, anxious patients.
Mm.
The patients were very anxious in getting cured at the shortest possible time, cutting down the cycle time of their healing process.
Mm.
So these drugs, anyway, I will take live example. Covaril was given advertised by Patanjali. Our own, what is his name? Uh,
Ramdev Baba.
Coronel. Coronel.
Ramdeva. His website was shut down, and Modi ji or Modi government allowed it for some time. The moment people like me who whistleblowed and said this is not a fair trade on the net because it's all false claim means, despite of his claims and despite of his several crores made of that petty advertisement, many people have fallen prey. Whatever the penalty which he was inviting is much less than the what profit he has made out of that claim. End
Sir,
of the
sorry
show.
to disturb you. Sir,
Go
if you
ahead.
take that HUL, Fair and Lovely advertisement is there, like so many advertisements are there. But will you agree with that ads? Similarly, they said if you use this one within few days, you will whitening your face. How it comes, sir? It is also nonsense, no?
What is your name, sir?
Sir, for example, if you take Fair and Lovely or
ARK
XYZ
Garu.
fairness creams,
ARK Garu.
sir,
Hello.
sir,
There is
sir,
already
sir.
case. మీరు చెప్పిన దాని మీద కేసు ఉంది. There is a case already on Fair and
But still,
Lovely.
it is so many. Okay.
There
But
is
how
already
many
case.
ways, sir? Such kind of so
You
many
you just
advertisements are there.
Sir, you just Google what is the caveat as well as the legal matter with respect to the claim from Fair and Lovely and its competitor. They are not at all competitor, but there's a fake website. So they claimed on the similar lines of Fair and Lovely, which is an established brand name, and they made some money because they are beating a giant, or they are assuming that they will beat a giant. That is very sorry. So there's a case already initiated. I don't know the final outcome, but you just Google it, you'll find it. Have I answered your question,
Okay.
sir?
Sir, I understand, but such way so many cases are there. But this one Patanjali has make highlighted and it has been given the verdict very soon. But as
Yeah.
same way, so many companies are there, so many fraud advertisements are there. But what the jurisdiction or government doing?
Sir, exactly, ARK Garu, exactly. The, I am just broaching the same subject. While this pornography site is connected through the intermediary and the law of the land is existing, what the government is doing? Just to see, today I wanted to show an example also. I will show you the link, but it will be digressing. The subject is same, but I am giving a link that how many
Okay.
websites have been blocked by the government, by same Modi government. I have the statistics. Please take a pause. I have to open the gate.
Okay,
One
sir.
second. You can pause. Fanigar, you can pause the live streaming also. Just give 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Sir, wait a minute, sir. We don't even pause the live session, sir, and meeting. We can stop the live, but we don't even pause the live.
I'm back, sir. I'm back. So I was citing an example of websites blocked by the Modi ji government. Okay, 67. You can just note down, because we are on the subject of pornographic websites. This happened recently. Government blocked 67 pornographic websites following court orders and violating so and so. So I would be sending all this at the end of the day, so that you can have a glimpse of it. Then another attempt by the same Indian government. They have blocked about 10 sites, which included GitHub also. How many people know GitHub? Can you please answer?
No idea, sir.
Okay, the live stream is on again.
Yes, sir, it was on.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So Vimeo or Vimeo is a famous website. GitHub is also a famous website, and it's a haven or a safe haven for developers to have their kitty of open source, kitty of tools, software routines, software algorithms. All these are in the GitHub. So they use it as a repository of information, data, and several algorithms in place, and they keep their coding developments at various stages of the life cycle of software development in GitHub. The government has blocked it. So one stalwart who is vice president of free open software or free software, is a advocate and a philanthropist and an ambassador for open source. So he said, how foolish is that for a government to block a useful site such as a GitHub? So these also are pits and falls by the government agencies who knowingly or unknowingly block certain websites when one or two pages of the websites are violating, if not they are contradictory or pages of concern. So this has to be observed, and they can instruct through a court order, or if not, instruct the ISPs, internet service providers, or to the admins that you take down or pull down those two controversial pages rather than block the entire website. So these are concerns. Now, understanding the domain names. What is that domain name? You know. So I'm from BHL, domain name is bhl.com. So it's a conglomerate of several units, manufacturing as well as service units, and which gives the entire scope for unit wise, and sometimes it works as a portal for employer, so that they can have information at the snapshot. So these domain names and their role in website addressing. What is that addressing? If a portal is there, suppose just now our gentleman has cited an example that police is asking, it is less than 10,000, you go. But there is a portal exclusively for cybercrime consulting, cybercrime addressal and redressal. So that is where here we are saying role of the website in addressing certain issues. Now comes to hierarchical structure, top level domains, subdomains. So I always mention about Tata group of companies. Tisco, Telco, Tata Motors are the subsidiaries. So they fall under categories of top level domain being a Tata group of company, and sub level domain or subdomain is the subsidiaries. So with that we can have proper understanding of the domain names. Now comes the reasons for blocking domains we just discussed. We have also explored the reasons for blocking specific domains into security concerns, into content filtering. What is that content filtering? Just now I told 67 porn sites have been blocked by Modi ji government. Why? The content is related to sexual exploitation and pertain to porn. So which is violative in nature and causing concern to the onlookers, whether gender wise or gender neutral, children or old age. So that's why it's a matter of concern. Hence, the government has pulled down, if not blocked, those websites. So real world examples I have already told you. I need not tell the names. some may overhear the names and try them also. So that's why I just told there is a if you can Google, you say 67 websites have been stopped by Modi's government. You can Google, you will find yourself. If not, I'll send the link at the end of the session as a link you can watch. Now, let us go into the technical aspects of it. So, you engage. So now I hand over, I as the original source generator, owner of the film Oppenheimer, I have all the rights. If not, I am the distributor and I have all the rights to project on a movie theater or sell it in a OTT platform. So I have the rights. So I engage Yagna Legal Academy, who is also having a technical team in handling cyber crimes. So what do they do? They modify the host files so that the local transmission is blocked. Then they do DNS filtering on the network so that it's second hop. As I taught you, as I've already explained you, how the hopping occurs and how the transmission of video packets getting into sequence, out of sequence, in the encryption, then in the decryption, it will be sequenced back into the normal procedure, normal sequence using PKI. Uh, Public key infrastructure, and so on. So these are the methods the development team or the techno-legal team of Eglo Legal Academy will do the job of blocking the websites or blocking the domains. Now, how do they do? You can demonstrate, but I don't want to demonstrate here because I know I know how to do it also. But let us not go into the technicality of it. So it consists of host file modification, DNS filtering. DNS is domain name service filtering. Then host file editing. So they can block domains using the host files because our website is hosted. So like GoDaddy, Big Daddy, and all these are many websites are there who host our domains into a workable website, and they basically do with the host files. Then further details of DNS filtering solutions, then pros and cons of using a third-party DNS filters. These are all the technicalities of it. Yesterday, last session, I have told about the firewall or VPN, virtual private network, which works as a firewall system, which blocks or which does not allow any hacker or a snooper to oversee the transaction or oversee a communication established or oversee a communication channel established between a sender and a receiver. So, what are the challenges and considerations in exercising this constraint, cyber filtering, then blocking the websites is balancing security with the user access. So, who is the general user who has the credentials of username, password? If not, it's a two-factor authentication. Then, if not, three-factor authentication that consists of a biometric in addition to the user ID password. So biometric could be left hand thumb impression or right hand thumb impression or the iris of the eye. So these are the security concerns or security rules which can qualify and entertain a user access. Then legal implications and privacy concerns. This will take a separate session into Data Privacy and Data Protection Act. But however, on a higher scale, the legal implications in hacking a website or blocking a website illegally or by an order. What is it by an order? By a court order, you are lawful and you are exercising or you are executing the order of a court. So that is lawful. But implication, because somebody has borrowed or somebody has thieved the film which was supposed to be given by only any famous website which sells films online, you can quote. Anybody can quote?
Like Amazon, Flipkart. Oh, sorry, Amazon
Okay.
and Netflix.
Okay. See, Netflix we can buy See, you want to, if you go to extreme, Extreme by Airtel, there is a provision. There are free movies, there are paid movies. So let us talk about Airtel, which is giving additional as a bonus to watch certain films. Say first 36 hours or first 36 days, you will get the free access to Hindi movies, Telugu movies, or any regional movies apart from the standard English movie. So the moment I click Oppenheimer, it will give you access only to the trailer. Why? They want to make revenue out of it. Full movie, pay 39 rupees for the movie. So you buy in the extreme also, you pay it. So what is the legal application or legal implication? Legal application is you have to pay and comply with the requirement or push down price, which is 39 rupees to buy the movie. If you fail to it or fail to comply, you cannot watch it. At the same time, there is an order for not to screen certain movies, some which instigate hatred or which create hatred or which hurt the religious sentiments of either of the groups or many groups, and it may create a riot. So these are all the implications where law comes into picture and takes control of it. You cannot take law into your hands bypassing. So these laws are mandatorily to be complied with. Next subject. So all are clear? Any questions so far?
Sir, as you said, there must be some control, but where, sir, nowadays live streaming and all these programs, what going on like G5, Airtel Fiber or Amazon, Netflix, there is no control, no, sir, over all this subject streaming what on.
Okay, but this is going live stream, so I might be pulled up by what's it? law, law enforcement agencies. So I don't want to make my opinions, but at the same time, the law should be in place, which that's why. See, who has identified these 67 websites which are streaming porn content were identified by the government, and Modi government has pulled it down and with a court order. So same screening authority should also screen, because none is above the law. Amazon, Netflix, who are they might be having Indian agents, but basically originator is America or USA, if not Europe, so whatever it may be. But our India is a great open market. They want to make money entering into Indian market. But when you enter into Indian market, you better obey the law of the land. So what is the law of the land? What the screening or lens held by the Indian government agencies who have tracked and identified these 67 porn sites, they gave an order to the ISPs as well as the concerned owners of these websites that we are blocking your websites. If you don't take away the content, within say 3 days or 2 days, they are bound to pay hefty penalties up to 250 crores. See, 6 months back, now it is X. Twitter was forced to withdraw. Twitter was forced to take away the what's a violative content at the behest of Modi's government. So Twitter has pulled it out. If you remember, just Google it, you will find it. Likewise, how Twitter was identified portraying this content, how Instagram and other social media websites or intermediaries which were transmitting this kind of unlawful content. So these they have their body. Only thing, India is a country where a lot of freedom of expression is given, and definitely we are getting into the same subject. That freedom of expression earlier was much more in Article 19(1)(a), which again percolates down to 66(a) of IT Act, which was scrapped down after Shreya Singhal versus Union of India. So clarity is yet to come, because cybercrime, as Madam Anuradha was telling, it's a growing field. It is an evolving field. So we are in the same subject of balancing freedom of expression with the national security concerns. Day before yesterday, I was mentioning about the same government who is allowing Bangladesh riots, Bangladesh loot, Bangladesh vicarious pleasures of the people who looted the Prime Minister's palace, burned down so many things. And there is a famous singer, a Hindu singer, whose house was identified, whose house was ransacked and burned to ashes. So these are the things which, as a sister country and a neighboring country, in what way we are justified, in what way the intermediaries or the social media websites are responsible and accountable to transmit such a heinous crimes or inhumane deeds of fellow Bangladeshis who are once under the same roof of India, uh, and now today there is so many things are happening which are not to be digested, which are unpalatable, but yet being streamed into our homes. So let the law takes its own course is my statement. Followed?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Sir,
sir.
yes.
Got it.
Both the points are covered here. What is the freedom of expression? What is the national security? So, the national security is irrespective. I mark my words because it's going live stream. I want to you to understand when it comes to there is certain province or North India. The meaning is when the owner's compound wall falls, the neighbor is the first one to ransack the house and loot the house. You followed?
Yes, sir.
So does it have any caste structure? Does it have any creed structure? Does it have any religion structure? Or for that matter, country per se is also not bothered. So today, the same crowd which has enjoyed the freedom of India's patronage in terms of exports, imports, and business. Today, the same people uh, who have ransacked Prime Minister's house and that poor guy, he's poor guy because of this plight today, but he was a very, very rich guy. He's a Hindu singer whose house was identified and whole thing ransacked and looted. Likewise, the entire Sheikh Hasina Prime Minister's house is looted. Every bits and pieces were carried off, as I told you. So, and today is being, how many people have received those videos, please?
Yes,
No
sir.
reaction.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We have seen it in the media.
Yes. So, is it right on the part of the media or the government itself to show and stream and hurt the sentiments of our Indians as fellow human beings or a sister country citizens? It's not correct. So, who am I to say it's not correct? But as a human being, you should not.
But it's
Yeah, go ahead.
but it needed to show outside the world, no, sir. Let them come to know. No, if not shown, then how will come to know? Nowadays, everything fraction of
It is
seconds.
justified.
So
It is justified by
when
the government. That is what the ARK. It is justified by the government. Well, on the same tone of ARK, that how can we know unless until it is telecast? So, but at the
we
same time, what is the security concern? What is the democratic society doing? What is the importance of a democratic society? And what is the level of freedom of expression can be limited to? And what are the security concerns? I am telling today the same people who exploited the country's weak situation and ransacked the prime minister's house, the mindset of the same people who could be see it's on. I told you it was past whole India. They have become to East Pakistan, later on Bangladesh. So the same crowd are also existing in terms of mentality within India. So today it has
under
happened in Bangladesh, tomorrow it will happen within India. That is the national security concern. So
understood.
you are mentally preparing to prepare them for a arson and loot like this. At the same time, you can also take up a role what they have done to the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. Is it not a proper analysis?
Something is
Sir.
what you said is something not agreed, sir. Because see, sometimes
That
you
is
know
what
if
I'm
you want
saying.
telecom,
ARK, sir, ARK. That is what I'm saying. There are two
yes,
things.
sir.
As a
Yes, sir.
child or an adult, you are going on the road. You have seen a cinema poster which is having a lewd picture. So whose mistake is that? It's a government mistake, because
So,
the roadside commuters can be a child, can be a grown up, can be an old man. So why are you showing, if they want now, ARK can convince me that, sir, unless until that lewd picture is not shown as a poster, how can adults go and watch it? You see, I am your defendant. Followed ARK. But as
sir,
a child's
that,
parent,
sir,
but as a child's parent, I will hold government accountable for spoiling my child's mindset, and he is making my innocent son or daughter to get into a different mindset and has a sexual orientation, and makes her or him little bit on the other side. So you are
yes,
spoiling my child in another way.
today Pawan Kalyan sir, who is
Sir.
CM of Deputy CM, also informed same thing. So somebody showing cinemas like looting of our this what you can say, sir, Adavi Sampada. So
Yes.
it is making a so sometimes
Sir.
some kind of
రమణ గారు
comment.
ఒక్క నిమిషం ఆగండి. ఏఆర్కే అని మాట్లాడేవాడిని, తర్వాత మీరు మాట్లాడతారు.
Yeah, one at a time, sir.
అదే సార్ ఏమంటున్నానంటే ఈరోజు పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ గారు అదే అన్నారు, సినిమాలలో అడవి సంపద దోచుకుంటే కూడా హీరోలాగా చూపెడుతున్నారు అని టుడే లేటెస్ట్ డైలాగ్.
That's not very wrong of it. I hold government accountable, because they are the one who have to filter the content, and they are the one who oversee. There is an oversight body. That's how that oversight body has only diagnosed and discovered these 67 websites are transmitting porn material, and they should be blocked immediately. Likewise, why
Yes,
not
sir.
the damage which they are going to cause on the common public, or also on the innocent children? They should curb the measures, not to hurt
Correct.
or spoil the understanding of adolescents or growing children into a nation building citizens. Where is the nation building focus when they are trapping them in sexual pleasures?
ఎస్ సార్.
You followed ARK? You followed
Yes.
or not?
Yes sir, I'm hearing this mute.
Yes.
Do
That's
not
what.
for this.
So it comes to freedom of speech as First Amendment, where even women were not being allowed to vote in America. So the first freedom of expression, when America had communist Americans and Russia was their allies, today Russia is a deep enemy. So First Amendment talks about freedom of expression. Same way, because our source of constitution is also Constitution of America. From the First Amendment, we picked up and converted or translated more into Article 19, more so Article 19 1A, in which freedom of speech is governed or specified. So this is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Else, erstwhile in America, or else in India as Article 90. Follow, no?
సార్ రమణ గారు వాంట్ టు స్పీక్ సంథింగ్. లెట్
Go ahead.
రమణ గారు మాట్లాడండి ఒక్క నిమిషం.
సార్ ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇది ఈ- ఈ- అంత అంత బాగుంది. ఇందులోని ఒక విషయంలోని అంటే కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ప్రకారంగా వెళ్తున్నామా అనేది కరెక్ట్ కాలేదు అనేసి ఒక రిజల్ట్ అయితే పాస్ అవుతుంది.
Yes.
ఇప్పుడు సైబర్ సిస్టమ్ లో కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ మీద అమెండింగ్ పాయింట్స్ ఏవి కూడాను క్యాలిక్యులేటెడ్ గా చూస్తే గనక కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ కి సంబంధించి సైబర్ లాకి సంబంధించి ఈక్వల్ క్వశ్చన్ ఆఫ్ పాయింట్ లో ఈక్వల్ గా ఎరేజ్ అయ్యేది ఏమీ కనిపించట్లేదు.
సార్ రమణ గారు,
ఆ,
Before IT Act came,
Hmm.
what were the criminal major acts?
Before the
CRPC.
IPC, CRPC, Indian Evidence Act.
But when I am doing a cyber crime, where is IPC, where is CRPC, or where is Evidence Act?
Only constitution depend.
Sir, Constitution is giving, or
Hmm.
out of Constitution only these three criminal major acts have emerged. Correct kada? Source is Constitution of India kada?
Constitution before CRPC, IPC started.
లేదు సార్, అవి 1860, 1806, 1973 అవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి
1950.
సార్. నేను అనేది ఏంటంటే వాట్ సి క్రోడీకరించబడినాయి
మీరు
అండ్
అర్థం
ఆల్
చేసుకోండి రమణ గారు.
రమణ గారు,
Sir,
Sir.
58 అవుతుంది.
యు ఫాలోడ్ నో ఆల్ సి. ఇప్పుడు 1908, 1989, 1872 ముందు కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ తర్వాతనా?
ముందు కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ తర్వాతను.
అది కాదు సార్, 1872లో కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఎక్కడిది సార్?
అప్పటికి కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ లేదు.
మరి ఐఎమ్ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ది లెగసీ లాస్.
మనం ఇప్పుడు అమెండ్ చేసుకున్న దాంట్లో మేజర్ యాక్ట్, అంటే మేజర్ యాక్ట్లు అమెండ్మెంట్, మేజర్ యాక్ట్ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్, మేజర్ యాక్ట్ డెవలప్మెంట్.
let me drive you through straight. Like when I am doing నా క్వశ్చన్ మీకు అప్పుడే వేసాను సార్. I am handling a cyber crime. What does the Constitution say? కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ రాసినప్పుడు 1950లో అడాప్ట్ చేసిన 1950లో ఆయన సైబర్ క్రైమ్ లేదు కదా సార్.
సైబర్ క్రైమ్ లేదు, కానీ సైబర్ క్రైమ్ పెట్టాక కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ లో అమెండ్మెంట్స్ ఏమైనా వచ్చాయా?
అబ్బా సార్, మీకు నమస్కారం, మంచిగా వినండి. ఐటీ యాక్ట్ 2000 వచ్చిందా?
వచ్చింది.
వాట్ వాజ్ ద నీడ్ ఫర్ ఐటీ యాక్ట్ 2000? క్వశ్చన్ ఫర్ ఆల్, నోట్ చేసుకోండి, కొంచెం హోంవర్క్ చేయండి. దెన్ ఐటీ యాక్ట్ 2000 తర్వాత అమెండ్మెంట్ అమెండ్మెంట్ మన 2008లో వచ్చింది.
2008లో వచ్చింది
ఐటీ యాక్టే. మళ్ళీ 2011లో వచ్చింది కొంచెం అమెండ్మెంట్స్.
2011లో వచ్చింది.
మళ్ళీ 2021. 2021లో అప్పటి వరకు ఓటీటీ లేదు, సోషల్ మీడియా లేదు. ఇది మేజర్ ల్యాండ్ మార్క్, టర్నింగ్ పాయింట్ ఇన్ ఐటీ యాక్ట్ అండ్ సైబర్ క్రైమ్. ఐటీ రూల్స్ 2021 మొన్న క్లాసులో చెప్పాను. IT rules 2021, amendments thereof, and the 7 sections which are newly incorporated to handle the social media, OTT platforms, and thereby insequel to those and limitations of the cyber crimes as well as evolving cyber crimes, the corresponding sections are extrapolated to handle those crimes in terms of a higher level domain called domain name sites, blocking up the websites, then taking action on the culprits who copy the content or stream the same content with their dubious domains or websites, are to be taken to books or bring them to books. Now I have evolved in a proper evolution from 1872 Indian Evidence Act to jumping suddenly to Constitution of India, there to 2000, year 2000, then 2008, then 2011, then 2021, and today we are in November 23, delving on Digital or Data Privacy and Data Protection Act. Malli vinandi, November 23లో ఎనాక్ట్ అయింది DPDP Act, Data Privacy and Data Protection Act, where privacy is given more concern. Now jumping up intercontinental and global transactions and cyber crimes, GDPR అని యూరోపియన్ లా ఉంది, అది టోటల్లీ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ప్రైవసీ. Likewise, we have, out of emulating GDPR of Europe, India has brought in and enacted in November 2023 the DPDP Act. ఇక్కడ ఉన్నాం సార్ మనం.
సార్
ఫాలోడ్ సార్?
ఎస్ సార్.
Thank you, sir. Anybody have similar concerns?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, let us go back to our presentation outline. So, I talked about the challenges and legal frameworks. The more so, uh, the challenges faced earlier. Now I am citing the tensions between free speech and security. I have quoted the live in the last class. I have talked about the Ukraine war. Last class I have talked about the Hamas, Israel, Iran, Hezbollah. These are all the concerns where subject of drones also came into picture, and Madam Sridevi also told about her own experience, her own experimental project, which she wanted to nab some culprits. So these are all the latest case studies, you can say, because they are live and going on day-to-day basis. They have not yet stopped. Likewise, the cybercrime today, as I earlier in previous sessions I told, at this moment, several millions of people are are taking birth. At the same time, millions of people are dying. So, so do the cyber crimes are also happening. Millions cyber crimes, and I also promised to send one video that it will show intercontinental ballistic missiles fired because they are indicative of the cyber crimes happening globally, intercontinentally, or internationally, and in the within India. So mostly I have also come up with the statistics of major cyber crimes committed in UP, but the volume wise, it is more in Karnataka and our Telangana. And I also told about the degree of cyber crimes and all for the citation purpose. 1 second, please. 1 second. Give me a break of 2 minutes.
ఓకే అండి. ఇక్కడ ఎవరన్నా ఏమన్నా క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగదలుచుకున్నారా? ఎవరినన్నా అన్మ్యూట్ చేస్తాను. మీరు మాట్లాడాలనుకుంటే మాట్లాడండి సార్ వచ్చే లోపల. ఎవరన్నా మీ హ్యాండ్ రేస్ చేయండి, వాళ్ళని అన్మ్యూట్ చేస్తాను, వాళ్ళు మాట్లాడొచ్చు. ఎవరికైనా మాట్లాడే ఉద్దేశం ఉందా?
Before going into next subject, feel free to express your concerns or any questions.
సరే అండి.
As
ఇంకొకటి
Ramana garu,
ఇందాక లింక్ అడిగారు. సో ఆ లింక్ నేను చాట్ లో పెట్టానండి. బుక్ రిలేటెడ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ టెక్నాలజీ బుక్ బై వకుల్ శర్మ. సో అది చాట్ బాక్స్ లో పెట్టాను నేను, ఒకసారి చూసుకోండి.
ఆల్రెడీ సేవ్ చేసుకున్నాం మేడం. ఇంకా థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఎవరన్నా మాట్లాడతారండి?
యూ కెన్ గో హెడ్ మేడం.
హలో, వినిపిస్తుందా? హలో,
వినిపిస్తుంది మేడం. కంటిన్యూ చేసేవాడు.
సార్ వచ్చారు, జయకర్ సార్.
వచ్చారా?
I think.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే.
Okay, getting to another topic now. We are getting into the third topic, but at the same time, you have appreciated what is threat to the national security. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్
Yeah,
సార్.
we are talking about challenges, threats, and government actions. So, I told you just now about the disinformation campaigns, terrorism, hate speech against one nature to one nation to another nation, one community to the other community. And I also reiterated the latest BNSS sections 192, 196, and 299. So that you keep in mind. Apart from IT Act 66A, which is scrapped but replaced by meaning is taken over by 66 section only, but with a higher measure, and 66E, 79D, which invites trouble for the intermediaries, and also dealt in the last session about safe harbor provisions, which they are exempted when the content is a third party's content, but when it is one to one, then the intermediates are liable and are accountable. So that a brief recap of what last session I have covered. Then government actions, I have just now told 67 phone websites have been blocked. By how? Because they have monitoring mechanisms, they have an oversight body who does the online monitor communication, and they also identify the content and take down from the social media platforms. Then out of this monitoring reports, every C-level executive has to submit the end of the day report, which whose report consists of the immense what is it immense danger to the country or a transmission content or transmitted content, which when it has reached the sender or receiver, which poses a threat to the national's or nation's sovereignty and the security. So these are again bound by the uh, earlier laws and converted into BNSS, which are taken very seriously. You have UPA Act is there, where there is no notice. Simply the police can just take or whisk away without even a warrant. So these are the implications where surveillance mechanism by the government authority. So I urged you to be very careful in forwarding, in transmitting, and because now the latest laws have diluted the administrator's accountability. Earlier, administrator was the chief respondent in a group, WhatsApp group, admin of the group was very much accountable. Today, out of their hues and cries, because it is to do with third party same safe harbor provisions, they prayed and pleaded not guilty. Hence, government came with lenient view that administrators play as a similar to the intermediary role, where safe harbor provisions can be given to even administrators, because they are merely administrators and they are not party to the content being transmitted to one user to another user. Then balancing acts and the content of the C-level executives or the oversight board manager, when it is clear and out of danger, it can pass the legal test. But when if it is clear and presenting a danger, then it is a judicial powers which come into picture and goes with an order of pulling it down or taking away the website down or the contents down, and holding the owner accountable and responsible with a punishment and a penalty. That you please remember. So I've also mentioned about international crime, where different countries are involved, and also told about the Privacy Act, referring to DPDP Act, then the human right violation, then we can quote or cite US Constitution. Then we talk about yesterday I told, or last session I told about the whistleblower. In 2012, I raised a concern about the cookie concept when an app is being installed in the Google Play Store, where all permissions are to be given. How an app is what to do, how an app is ought to do with your photos and content and the contact details, why it is taking control of all your contacts and the entire your mailbox, inbox, all this. So this raised a huge concern, and I as a whistleblower has raised the question and only after 10 years Google has paid its price with a class action penalty. Importance of whistleblowers for transparency. Luckily, I have escaped the what is a big and rat because I am a small fry, but at the same time, concern was very high. So, you can call me as a whistleblower. At the same time, if an employee is identifying a pilferage or a leakage in profits or a loophole in the balance sheet, trial balance, or any financial transactions, or a journal entry, or a accounting entry, or a stock inventory mechanism, then you can be a whistleblower in your own concern, bringing up to your management the mishap is happening in so and so department. You become a faithful whistleblower to the company, because you contribute to the bottom line while addressing a serious issue which may percolate down to the company's collapse, if not a huge dent in the profits. Then legal protection and the challenges. In America, there is a protection bill itself protecting whistleblowers, because if you are identified as a like as a whistleblower, men may shoot you down because their dubious acts are transparent to the public, which they did not want. So those miscreants can all gang up and eliminate you. So you as a whistleblower is at a death threat. So government of USA has provided a whistleblowers act and given a protection to the whistleblowers, whereas in India is yet to come. Not that I know. So this is about the legal protections and challenges to whistleblowers. With regard to companies, moderation of policies and algorithms. This is a little bit technical, but policies we can take at a higher level. So there should be an established policy to be complied with, and we, as auditors and legal consultants, can get into the policy document and see to it after auditing the company and come up with the points or audit points, so that they can be followed up with the management and rectified. Then about the balance between safety and expression. So the freedom of expression is abused or used for the benefit of the company or security of the country. So these are to be cautioned and make a cautionable trade. Trade means you have to make or put your foot forward after evaluating the pros and cons of what is your next step and what for you are stepping out. So these are the concerns. So I want you to emphasize on the delicate balance needed and the ongoing dialogue between the receiver and the sender, and also the content being transmitted through a intermediary or a website or a domain, which can be blocked or which can be exemplified, so that you balance your freedom of expression or transmission of content and complies with the policy of the website as well as the law of the land to comply. Now comes the last session. We are highlighting the blocking of website and dealing with the case of Nambiar, KV Nambiar, I think, versus Union of India. So before going to the case study, please come up with questions or concerns so that we may deal little bit on that. Then we'll call it a day. It's K and Nambiar versus Union of India.
సార్ అందరూ అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఒకసారి చూడండి. మీరు అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకొని డౌట్స్ ఉంటే సార్ని అడగండి. వస్తుందా అండి అన్మ్యూట్ చేసుకోవడానికి? యా, ప్లీజ్ సార్, యూస్ ద ఆపర్చునిటీ టు ఆస్క్ ద క్వశ్చన్. సార్ జైకర్ గారు, ప్రాక్టికల్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అంటే సార్ ఇప్పుడు ఈ డ్రోన్ యాక్ట్స్ ఈ కొత్తవన్నీ వచ్చినవన్నీ ఇంప్లిమెంటేషన్ అవుతున్నాయా సార్? అంటే మీకు తెలిసిన నాలెడ్జ్ లో కొంచెం షేర్ చేస్తారు.
ఉన్నాయి మేడం. డ్రోన్ యాక్ట్ నేను మొన్న మీకు అందరికి పంపించాను.
పంపించారు, యాక్ట్ పంపించారు. బట్ యాక్చువల్లీ నేనైతే ఇప్పుడు నా చేతులతో ఎప్పుడు డ్రోన్ ని చూడలేదు, సినిమాల్లో టీవీల్లో చూడటం తప్ప. సో అసలు డ్రోన్స్ ఎక్కడ అమ్ముతారు, అవి ఎక్కడ? ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు అంతా మ్యారేజ్ హాల్స్ లో అలా వాడుతున్నారు. ఓకే, ఐ డూ అగ్రీ విత్ దాట్. నేను అనేది ఇప్పుడు రూల్స్ అనేవి బ్రేక్ అవుతాయి, కేసెస్ ఎక్కడ ఫైల్ అవుతాయి?
Drones not only for already told it can be used as war weapons and agriculture purpose, courier,
అదే
health
సార్,
sector.
నేను అది అడగట్లేదు ఏఆర్కే గారు, నేను అది అడగట్లేదు. అదే చెప్పాను, నేను కూడా మ్యారేజ్ హాల్స్ లో అన్నిట్లో వాడుతున్నారు. నేను అనేది ఎక్కడ రూల్స్ బ్రేక్ అయ్యాయి, ఎవరు ఫైలింగ్ చేశారు కేసెస్ అనేది, ఎక్కడ డీల్ చేయబడుతున్నాయి కేసెస్ అనేది నాకు తెలియదు.
Are there no, like for example కొన్ని నో ఫ్లై జోన్స్ ఉంటాయి, అటువంటి దగ్గర ఫ్లై చేయడం కూడా అదొక ఏమంటారు శిక్ష. ఇట్స్ లైక్
నేను
అవి
అనేది అది
అవైలబుల్.
కరెక్టే సార్, రూల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. రూల్స్ ఎవరు బ్రేక్ చేశారు? ఇప్పటి వరకు జరిగిన ఇన్సిడెంట్స్ ఏమన్నా చెప్పగలరా? కేసెస్ ఎక్కడన్నా ఫైల్ అయ్యాయా? పలానా కోర్టులో ఫైల్ అయ్యాయి కేసెస్ లేదా జడ్జ్మెంట్స్ అనేవి దాని మీద రన్ అవుతాయి వచ్చాయి.
ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ లో కేసు ఫైల్ అయిందని చెప్పారు కదా మేడం మన లాస్ట్ సెక్షన్ లో.
ఏంటి సార్, అర్థం కాలే.
శ్రీదేవి మేడం ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గా చేశారంటే కదా, ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ చేసినప్పుడు అది ఇద్దరు లేడీస్ వచ్చి బాత్రూమ్ పోతున్నారు, వాళ్ళని షూట్ చేశారని
రైట్
చెప్పేసి
రైట్ రైట్
కేసు ఫైల్ అయిందని చెప్పారు కదా మేడం గారే.
అవునవును అవును సార్. ఓకే
Rules can be used for right purpose and wrong purpose, both way. So while you
Yes,
using for wrong, then it may be come into consideration.
See, drones, see, as I already mentioned, every drone like a MAC address of a electronic device on the web, మీడియా యాక్సెస్ కంట్రోల్ నంబర్ అనేది ఒకటి ఉంటుంది. అలాగే యూనిక్ ఐడెంటిఫైయింగ్ నంబర్ ఆఫ్ ప్రతి ఎవ్రీ డ్రోన్ హ్యాస్ దట్. సో అర్లియర్ వెన్ ద ఇంట్రడక్షన్ ఆఫ్ డ్రోన్ కేమ్ ఇన్ టు పిక్చర్, there was not much law in place, and the series of actions and concerns have raised to emergence of the parliamentary question which I have sent in the last session. I don't know, I have, because I have sent it in the let me check. Madam, Mahesh is there? I have sent to Mahesh also. Right now I don't have a copy. I sent to Yagna Legal as a member, and then let me see once again. That drone. Yeah. Okay, I have Lok Sabha questions and drone rules 2021. I can again forward it. You go through it. I think last time the entire group had. How many people want to see that? We'll not discuss about it. I will send you again because it is readily available. I will send it in the group itself.
ఎస్ సార్ ఎస్ సార్.
Meantime, you can continue talking. I'm just sending it.
ఎవరి దగ్గరన్నా ఈ డ్రోన్ మీద ఇచ్చిన జడ్జిమెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయా అవైలబుల్ లో? జడ్జిమెంట్స్
డ్రోన్ లో జడ్జిమెంట్స్ ఏమీ లేదు, జడ్జిమెంట్ ఏం పాస్ అవ్వలేదు.
అంటే నేను అడిగే ఉద్దేశం ఏంటంటే సార్, ఎంత బాగా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ అవుతున్నాయి ఒకటి, అసలు జడ్జెస్ అనేవాళ్ళు అంతలాగా మనకి జడ్జిమెంట్స్ పంపించి అవి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయ్యి రియల్లీ పెనాల్టీస్ అనేది సఫరర్స్ కి వెళ్ళినవి అసలు అంటూ ఉన్నాయా అనేది నాకు ఒక చిన్న సందేహం.
ఇంకా అంటే ఫైల్ అయిందో లేదో తెలియదు కానీ అదైతే ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ దీనికి సంబంధించి పార్లమెంట్
company. Just to see my Lok Sabha questions, drone rules 2021. Andaru
Okay.
all can access it. Just to see whether all can download it or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Ramna garu. Sorry for interrupting you.
సార్ సార్ అది ఫస్ట్ పాస్ చేసినప్పుడే, యాక్ట్ పాస్ చేసినప్పుడే దాని తాలూకు రూల్స్ రెగ్యులేషన్స్ అన్ని టేబుల్ చేశారు. ఆ టేబుల్ చేసిన దాంట్లో కూడాను లైసెన్స్లు ఏ విధంగా ఇవ్వాలి, లైసెన్స్డ్ ట్రైనర్ ఎలాగ ఉండాలి, ఆ ప్రొడక్ట్ ని ఎవరు కొనుక్కోవాలి, ఎంత పర్సెంటేజ్ గా వాడాలి, దేని నిమిత్తము వాడతారు అనేది అన్ని రూల్స్ ప్రకారంగా పెట్టున్నారు. అయితే
Yeah.
అది ఒక కంపెనీకి ఇచ్చేటప్పుడు కంపెనీ లైసెన్స్డ్ గా తీసుకుంటది, కానీ దాన్ని పర్పస్ ని యూటిలైజ్ చేసేటప్పుడు మాత్రము ఆ పర్పస్ ని డివైడ్ చేస్తూ మార్చుతూ ఉంటది అనమాట. కంపెనీ తీసుకున్నప్పటి నుంచి కంపెనీ డ్రోన్ ని కొనుగోలు చేస్తుంది. కంపెనీ కొనుగోలు చేసిన తర్వాత, పర్చేజ్ తర్వాత దాని ప్రొడక్ట్ ని యూటిలైజ్ చేసే పద్ధతిలో మాత్రం రూల్స్ పాటించకుండా వ్యతిరేకించేటప్పుడు దానికి ఎంక్వైరీ సిస్టమ్, దానికి కోయిన్సైడ్ బ్యాలెన్స్ గా చూసే సిస్టమ్ లేదు. అంటే బ్యాలెన్స్
ఇండైరెక్ట్ గా రోబో మూవీలో ఇదే కదా సార్, ఆ చిప్ ఏదో మారుస్తాడు
అంతే. అది చిప్పు లైసెన్స్డ్, అది తయారీ అదంతా క్వాలిటీ చెక్ అయ్యి బయటకు వస్తుంది. దీనికి డ్రోన్ మిషన్ తయారయ్యేది క్వాలిటీ చెక్ అయ్యే వస్తుంది బయటికి. కానీ డ్రోన్ సర్వీస్ ప్రొవైడరు, లైసెన్స్డ్ ప్రొవైడరు కొంతమంది మాత్రం మినిమైజ్డ్ పర్సన్స్ ఉంటారు, వాళ్ళే తీసుకుంటారు. అది వాళ్ళు ఒక పర్సన్ వచ్చేసి ఇండియాలో మొత్తానికి వచ్చేసి ఒక 20% ఉంటే 20% బిజినెస్ పీపుల్ కి ఈ లైసెన్స్ ని ఇస్తుంటారు. ఆ లైసెన్స్డ్ పర్సన్ కి ఎంత జ్యూరిస్డిక్షన్ ఉంటది, ఆ లైసెన్స్డ్ పర్సన్ ఎంత ఏరియాకి ఇవ్వచ్చు అనేది అందులో లేదు. ఆ లైసెన్స్ ని కవర్ చేసేది, అంటే ఆ లైసెన్స్ కంట్రోల్ చేసేది ఎక్కడ, ఈ విధంగా ఆ లైసెన్స్డ్ పర్సన్ అంటే లిమిటెడ్ చేయాలి అనేది చూడాలి. అది
ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే, ఇప్పుడు మనం డ్రోన్స్ అనేవి మ్యారేజ్ హాల్స్, మీరు అన్నట్టు ఫార్మింగ్ లో ఇట్లా వాడుతున్నాం సార్. ఇప్పుడు మనం కొంచెం వింటున్నాము రోబోస్ అనేవి కూడా హోటల్స్ లో అక్కడక్కడ వాడుతున్నారు అని. రేపు ఫ్యూచర్ లో మన ఇళ్లలో కూడా రోబోస్ వచ్చే అవకాశాలు చాలా ఎక్కువే ఉన్నాయి. సో దానికి కూడా కంపల్సరీగా లాస్ రావాలి.
అది ప్రొడక్ట్ అనేది లిమిటెడ్ గా, లైసెన్స్డ్ పర్సన్స్ లిమిటెడ్ గా ఉంటారు. రిజర్వ్డ్ పర్సన్స్ కొంతమందే ఉంటారు. అంటే యాక్ట్ ని ఫాలో అవుతూ, యాక్ట్ ప్రకారంగా ఉంటూ ఆ ప్రొడక్ట్ ని ఏ ప్రొడక్ట్ అయినా కానీ ప్రొడక్ట్ లైసెన్స్డ్ పర్సన్స్ అనేది యాక్ట్ ని ఫాలో అయ్యేది మినిమైజ్డ్ గా ఉంటారు. ఆ ప్రొడక్ట్ ని యూటిలైజ్ చేసుకునే వాళ్ళు మాత్రం ఎక్కువ సంఖ్యలో ఉంటారు.
కరెక్ట్ అండి, అదే రమణ గారు నేను కూడా చెప్పేది. పెను మార్పులు అనేవి వస్తాయి, రావాలి ఖచ్చితంగా. ఆ లాస్ లో కూడా చేంజెస్ అనేవి ఖచ్చితంగా రావాలి. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు డ్రోన్స్ వచ్చాయి,
అంటే ఇప్పుడు అదైతే ఎంతవరకు యూటిలైజ్ అవుతుందో అంతవరకు ఎంక్వైరీ సిస్టమ్ అనేది పరిగెట్టాలి. ఎంక్వైరీ సిస్టమ్ పరిగెట్టట్లేదు. ఇది ప్రతి దీంట్లో నేను లూప్ హోల్స్ ఇది. అయితే ఆ ఎంక్వైరీ సిస్టాన్ని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తూ ఆ ప్రొడక్ట్ ని పెంచుకుంటూ పోవాలి. అది ఏదైనా ఫుడ్ ప్రొడక్ట్ కాదు కాబట్టి, అది ఒక ఐటెం కి సంబంధించింది కాబట్టి, ఆ ఐటెం కూడా టెక్నికల్ పర్పస్ ఆల్ యూటిలైజేషన్ ని కవర్ చేస్తుంది కాబట్టి దానికి మోస్ట్లీ ఎంక్వైరీ ఉండాలి. ఇప్పుడు కెమెరాస్ పెట్టుకుంటున్నాం, కెమెరాస్ కి ఎంక్వైరీ ఉండాలంటే మన ఇండియాలో అది 100% లేనట్టుగా చెప్పాలి. ఇతర కంట్రీస్ లో ఎంక్వైరీ ఎంత మోస్ట్లీ ఉందంటే, ప్రతి సెకండ్ కూడా అబ్జర్వ్ చేసి క్వాలిటీ చెక్ చేస్తారు వీడియోని. మీ ఇంటి దగ్గర వీడియో పెట్టుకున్నారు అనుకోండి,
అదేలేండి సీసీ
కెమెరా పెట్టుకుంటే అది క్వాలిటీ చెక్ అయ్యి వచ్చాక మీకు కెమెరా, అంటే మీకు మీ మొబైల్ కానీ మీరు చూడడానికి కానీ, మీరు బయట అది ఎంత కెమెరాలో ఏం జరిగిందో చూడడానికి అవకాశం ఇస్తుంది. క్వాలిటీ చెక్ అయ్యాక వీడియోని క్వాలిటీ చెక్ చేసి ఇస్తుంది. దాన్ని రిమోట్ వీడియో ఆడిటింగ్ అంటారు.
జయకర్ సార్, గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్.
Good evening. My video is not visible, Ramkrishna.
Yes, sir. సార్,
Sorry about that.
సార్ వెరీ గుడ్ సార్. విషయం ఏంటంటే, ఒక పర్సన్ అతను ఫ్రాడ్ చేస్తున్నాడు, డైలీ ఆ డేటాని ఎరైజ్ చేస్తున్నాడు.
Okay.
డైలీ ఫ్రాడ్ చేస్తున్నాడు, డైలీ ఎరైజ్ చేస్తున్నాడు.
ఓకే.
ఆఫ్టర్ ఒక 6 months 1 year తర్వాత సైబర్ క్రైమ్ లో కేసు బుక్ అయింది. సైబర్ డిటెక్టివ్ వాళ్ళు ఆ ఫోన్ ను, అతని దగ్గర ఉన్న ల్యాప్టాప్ ను రికవరీ చేసిండ్రు, సీజ్ చేశారు. సీజ్ చేశారు. ఆ అయితే అతను డైలీ డేటాను ఎరైజ్ చేయడం వల్ల వాళ్ళు ఎంతవరకు డేటాను రికవరీ చేయగలుగుతారు? డిటెక్టివ్ ఇన్స్పెక్టర్ వాళ్ళు
ఫుల్ డేటాని రికవరీ చేయగలుగుతారు సార్.
ఈ మంత్స్ది
ఇప్పుడు
క్వశ్చన్ అర్థమైంది సార్, అది డౌట్.
మళ్ళీ చెప్పొచ్చు.
అయితే ఒక పర్సన్ ఒక ఫోన్ కు సంబంధించిన డేటా డైలీ ఎరైజ్ చేస్తూ వచ్చాడు.
ఓకే.
డైలీ ఎరైజ్ చేస్తూ వచ్చాడు. సైబర్ ఆఫీసర్స్ వాళ్ళు ఆ ఫోన్ ను సీజ్ చేశారు. సీజ్ చేసిన తర్వాత ఎన్ని మంత్స్ డేటాను వాళ్ళు రికవరీ చేయగలుగుతారు? అంటే ఎన్ని రోజుల డేటా కానీ, ఎన్ని మంత్స్ డేటా కానీ, ఇయర్స్ డేటా కానీ, ఎన్ని మంత్స్ డేటాను రికవరీ చేయగలుగుతారు?
See, there are mechanism, Ramakrishna.
Yes, sir.
Entire device is deleted. Only mark my words. Be careful in using the right words for the right appropriate context.
Yes,
If
sir.
they have deleted the entire content, still can be recorded.
Still can be record.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
మరి ఇంకా
ఇప్పుడు
ఇంకేమంటున్నారు శేఖర్ సార్ అని అడుగుతలు. If
Sir.
it is formatted, then it is difficult to
Recovery.
recover. Deleted, no problem, you can again recover. But deleted, yes. But formatted, we have to use some other techniques.
సార్ బ్లాక్ బాక్స్ లో పెడుతున్నారు కదా, ఏరోప్లేన్ లోని వాటిలో బ్లాక్ బాక్సెస్ ఉంటాయి కదా, ఆ బ్లాక్ బాక్స్ హిస్టరీని కనుగోలేకపోతున్నారు. దానికి కారణాలు ఏంటి?
See, when I describe the subject of security algorithms, hash algorithms, and I have dealt the subject of encryption and decryption in digital signature subject, it is the encryption algorithm which is in place, followed by its decryption methodology, where it has the key, where the message is encrypted with public key of B, the receiver, to be decrypted by private key of A. Followed?
Yes.
Likewise, the black box of an aircraft has the call data record, visionary record, everything under the world of that flight. So we can say it is flight data recorder, which will give the entire records. What are records? It's in the tabular form, which is date and time stamp, and audio, video, and corresponding formats, which the particular content is formatted into and saved into and recorded into as a permanent store, which the encapsulated box will sustain maybe 1000 degrees also if the aircraft is burned into flames.
Yes.
Followed?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you repeat? I did not get it properly.
Ramana
అది
garu,
సార్ డేటా రికార్డ్ అవుతున్న బ్లాక్ బ్లాక్ లో ఏ సెకండ్ లో రికార్డ్ అయిందో ఆ సెకండ్ లోనే అక్కడే ఉండిపోకుండా ఆ బ్లాక్ బాక్స్ మెసేజ్ అనేది కన్వర్ట్ అవుతూ ఉంటది కదా.
yes,
అది కన్వర్ట్ అయినప్పుడు స్టేజ్ సేవింగ్ పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ సేవింగ్ కింద ఇంపార్టెంట్ మెసేజెస్ కాబట్టి సేవింగ్ డౌన్లోడ్ లో వేరే దగ్గర సేవ్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి అక్కడ బ్లాక్ బాక్స్ పోయినప్పటికీ ఇక్కడ సేవ్ ఉండాలి కదా.
sir.
sir.
Black box is not interacting with the Air Traffic Control Association or Air Traffic Controller.
Air traffic control heads కూడా ఉండాలి కదా.
Wait, sir, ikkada flight is endangered, has encountered a damage, and the flight has fallen burning down. The entire plane, where for the investigation officer only one dead box or one live black box is available.
Yes, sir.
It has
One
lost
box.
the communication, sir. See,
Uh,
the aircraft lost its direction the moment it lost its communication channel with the air traffic controller.
Last stop.
Ante kada sir.
Sir,
See, till they can receive help from the air traffic controller, ATC antaru. ఆ లాస్ట్ అయింది కాబట్టి దే కుడ్ నాట్ ఫర్దర్ ట్రేస్ అవుట్ ది ఎయిర్క్రాఫ్ట్ నార్ గైడ్ ది పైలట్ టు ల్యాండ్ సేఫ్లీ ఇంటూ అన్ ఓషన్ ఆర్ టు ఎ ఫారెస్ట్ ఆర్ టు ఎ డెజర్ట్ ఆర్ ఆన్ టు ఎ సీ వేర్ వాట్ ఎవర్ పాసిబుల్ ఆర్ టు ద నియరెస్ట్ ఎయిర్పోర్ట్ దే కెన్ ప్రొవైడెడ్ ద ఫ్యూల్ ఈస్ సఫిషియంట్ ఫర్ దెమ్ టు టేక్ టు దట్ ఏరియా.
So now the technology got updated, so many new technologies coming. So why can't such way it cannot be implemented? So like SpaceX is there, no? They are ready to give wherever you want internet, they will give, no? So such a way, why can't we use cloud services and all? Why can't we coordinate with flight? And it cannot possible, sir.
It is. In-flight internet is provided by my classmate. First time in the
Great.
world. My classmate.
From Telangana, sir? Where? US.
No, we all studied in JNTU, but he is from Bangalore.
Yes, sir.
Great, sir.
So this was done about 20 years back.
తర్వాత ట్రైన్ తాలూకా యాక్సిడెంట్స్ లో కూడాను మిస్యూజ్ అయినప్పటికీ అది కూడా కాన్ఫిడెంట్ గా కోల్పోతున్నారు కదా.
See, sir,
అది డేటా మిస్యూజే కదా అది.
I don't want to enter into
అంటే
politics.
సెన్సార్స్
Wait, sir, Ramana garu, I told the live example of myself because I am the living testimony who is speaking live and kicking. I am before you. Today camera is not working. I cannot help you but to just voice you and speak to you. But I am a live example. See, I just told you, my own classmate is the first innovator who introduced internet over flight.
Yes, sir.
Likewise, there are many innovations where we in BHL, sir, please listen, I am from BHL, more than 20 years I have worked in BHL before moving to America for SAP consulting. So I am good in technology, finance and law. More so cyber law, intellectual property rights and legal information systems and intellectual property rights. So the point is here, we in BHL have produced in 1996 maglev, magnetic levitation. Today China is flying a train which goes at the speed of 456 kilometers per hour.
Yes, sir.
On the same principle which our BHL has demonstrated in early 2000. You followed which family I am coming from? Innovators family.
Innovators.
So
today
likewise,
China has got technology to 1,000 kilometers.
Sir, this is a recorded session on the YouTube, and I am accountable for my statements made. Right? Not only this limited audience, but the entire world, because YouTube is not only limited to India. The other side of the globe also can be seen or can view them. Am I fair in my talk?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. Please.
Right. Likewise, BHL has
Continue.
developed the anti-collision device, because BHL also produces in our Jhansi unit train engines. And I was in the project of E-type excitation, where an innovative mechanism of diesel engine, railway diesel engine, has 8 controls, in which in that project I was there, where quite an innovative techniques and steps have been taken to improvise the diesel engine of a locomotive. In the same engine, we have implemented anti-collision devices in early 2000 or late 2000s. Okay, but BHL was not encouraged to develop the project or product, where the famous Odisha accident has taken place. So that's why I told you I don't want to go into the government politics. But we are genuine developers, genuine innovators, and I claim that I am from the family of BHL of innovators. I also reiterate, this is a recorded session going live stream on the YouTube.
Okay. Yes.
And my statements are accountable.
Okay.
Now
Yes,
coming to Ramana Garu's question, sir, there are ifs and buts where government's will and pleasure is at stake. There is no depth of intellectual capital. Sir, there is no depth of intellectual capital in India where the intellect can be tapped for an innovative solutions which can culminate into a hybrid product which can be integrated into a locomotive, tracking ships, tracking aircrafts, tracking locomotives, and whatnot. I also say that I am one of the major developers in America where it did not take off about barcode in 2006, where it was also my project in America, where we came up with the first barcode decoders and encoders. Today, every box Amazon is selling or receiving or transmitting has a barcode, and the barcode scanner is used to scan the product, and the scanner, like a QR code, gives the history geography of the product being shipped and its location of origin or source and destination. So you just come up with your relevant question. God willing, I have the answer for it.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Followed, sir.
Followed.
Now comes to case study of Mr. Nambiar versus Union of India, where the corresponding IT Act is challenged and the subject of freedom of speech, blocking of websites come into picture. And let me display my screen. Ramkrishna, you are there. Ramnagaru, are you satisfied?
Sir, I'm there.
Yes, sir. Satisfied, sir. I am satisfied.
Okay, I'm sharing the screen now. Coming to the last topic, 10 o'clock. Topic of K. Nambiar versus Union of India, the background and introduction of IT Act 2000. So, in the IT Act, we have procedure and safeguards for blocking access of information by public rules 2009. More visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So you know about the IT Act, and the components involved are computer resource intermediary, and there is a person oversight body is called designated officer. Then in the part of the oversight body, there is a nodal officer whose authority, whose role and responsibility is the grievance receiver and resolver also. The relevant section 69A of the IT Act empowers the government to block access to the information that is governed by the subsection 1. Then, as in 41A, before somebody is getting arrested, you state the reasons for arresting. Likewise, you state the reasons in subsection 2 why government is blocking a particular website. Comes to question of sovereignty, question of security, question of disturbing the public order. You followed? My screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir. Visible, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
my point number is the relevant section of the IT Act is 69A, whose 1 talks about the government's power to block a site. Subsection 2 reflects the grounds to justify that blocking of the site. Then I already mentioned who is the designated officer on the on-site or oversight board. This officer issues the direction to block the request from the nodal officer or the competent courts or through the competent courts through an order. Then the review committee who supervises oversight role is assessing the blocking request. So just now I mentioned the government of India has blocked a Vimeo site as well as GitHub. Both are a safe haven for the youngsters or people like me who are into development also. We develop code and store the code, pick up the free open source from the GitHub, use the modules available in the open source, and even you can directly say OpenAI is a developed product from the open source. It is called open source AI. So likewise, GitHub is also an open source where it's a platform for all the developers and all the people who code and test their samples and store their results there. But government of India has blocked its site. We don't know what reasons. We'll go into the details later. But we are on the subject of blocking of website. We'll come to the case law Nambiar versus Union of India. So as we know, background is suspension of an IPS officer. What are the grounds of appeal? Alleged malified intent behind the suspension. Challenge under the Rule 7 of All India Services. Court decision. So these are all to do with disciplinary proceedings. Significance and implications. Application of Rule 7 of the All India Services that deals with disciplinary rules 1955. So the malified intent is identified and the trial went on, keeping it or making it a landmark judgment. What is that? When it comes to national security, what is the freedom of expression a typical IPS officer can extend to? And the individual rights one owns out of the fundamental rights or constitutional rights bestowed in an individual, more so an IAS officer. So it is dealing with ensuring fair and just procedures. So when it comes to Rule 7 of Disciplinary Rules 1955, the freedom of expression should not be violated. And more so when he raises his head applying the Rule 7 of All India Service Appeals and Discipline Rules, the case is tried and it has evolved into a suspension of this IPS officer. Why? One, it questions the very rules which he has to comply. Two, it comes to the question of sovereignty and security of the country being in the civil services. Hence, he was suspended. So this concludes our session where the role of individual, role of sender, so role of receiver, role of third party content, and the service provider like an intermediary. Then the service provider who is exemplified or exceptions are there under safe harbor provisions where he is not accountable or liable if the content is a third party content. Now comes the content is provided, streamed, downloaded, exhibited, or displayed through a website whose name is under a domain name service, which can be blocked out of the reasons mentioned vis-a-vis I have explained. When it comes to question of sovereignty, security, and blocking or disorderly or hurting the public order. So these three are the major reasons for a website to be blocked. So this comes to close of the session. And if you have any questions or concerns on the first two topics and the you can just get into the details of Nambiar versus Union of India if you want to know more. But the summum bonum or the summary is freedom of expression, questioning the authorities, and when questioning the authorities should not be transparent enough to give a breach or question the sovereignty and security of the country and should not lead to any public disorder. Now the case, I'm stopping the sharing and throw open the co-host madam to unmute all so that all can discuss, and we'll close in a couple of minutes.
Sir, all can unmute themselves, sir. No issues.
సార్ మనకి ఇక్కడ పనిష్మెంట్ లో సర్వీస్ అని పెట్టారు కదండి
సార్.
మనకి అంటే ఇది సైబర్ కాదు, సర్వీస్ అని ఆ పనిష్మెంట్ లో సర్వీస్ చేయమని పెట్టారు కదా సార్.
ఇప్పుడు కొత్త లాస్ లో డూ కమ్యూనిటీ సర్వీస్ అని ఉంది. పబ్లిక్ సర్వీస్ అంటే పబ్లిక్ అనొచ్చు, కానీ ద వెరీ వర్డ్ యూజ్డ్ ఈజ్ కమ్యూనిటీ సర్వీస్. కమ్యూనిటీ
సర్వీస్ దాని గురించి
సార్ ఇట్స్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ స్కోప్ సార్. మనం సైబర్ క్రైమ్స్ లో ఉన్నాం, వాళ్ళు కొత్త లాస్ పట్టుకొచ్చి దానిలో కమ్యూనిటీ సర్వీస్ ఎందుకు సార్? మనం చదువుకోవచ్చు. వీఆర్ ఆల్ లాయర్స్, వీ కెన్ గెట్ ఇన్ టు ద డీటెయిల్స్ ఆఫ్ వాట్ ఈస్ కమ్యూనిటీ సర్వీస్. యూ ఆస్క్ పర్టినెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆర్ రిలవెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ టు ది సబ్జెక్ట్. Why digress, sir? Ramna garu, my humble submission only. I can answer you, but it may not be palatable by rest of the participants.
Next, cyber crime gurinchi adagali.
Sir, I missed that Nambiar case. Can you brief us? Sorry to ask you again.
K. Nambiar versus Union of India, disciplinary rules and 1995. Civil Services Disciplinary Rules 1955. I've already mentioned, sir, but at the same time, All India Service Appeal and Discipline Rules 1955, where suspension of this All India Service personnel comes into picture and raises the question about the application of Rule 7 of All India Service Rules, bracket law, Appeal and Discipline, 1955. In this case, A.K. Nambiar, an officer of the IPS, was placed under suspension on July 1958. Sir, remember this. An IPS officer was placed under suspension on July 5th, 1958.
Okay, sir.
The suspension order was allegedly due to a hostility from the CM of Andhra Pradesh. The appellant challenged the suspension order on two grounds. Okati, malified intent and violation of this rule just now I mentioned, that is All India Services Rules 1955 bracket law appeal and discipline. Adi sir. So the relevant section is 69A of the IT Act. AM section, so subsection 1 empowers the central government to block access to information. Subsection 2 are the picked up grounds for blocking. Sovereignty, when it comes to question of sovereignty and security, and
Got it.
spoiling the public disorder or spoiling the public order. Right, sir? AKK Nambiar versus Union of India.
Okay, got it, sir.
As I already told you, it is to do with the suspension of IPS officer. I have explained the ground, background, and the relevant section 69A and the subsection 1, subsection 2, and which deals with when amounts to blocking of website and usage or balance of freedom of speech when questioning the rule number 7A or 7 of All India Services, and 69A came into picture with the subsection 1 and subsection 2, thus justifying the suspension of the IPS officer in a very state of Andhra Pradesh.
సో థ్యాంక్ యూ ఫర్ దాట్ సార్. ఇది బేర్ యాక్ట్ ఐటీ యాక్ట్ లో ఈ బిఐపిటి రూల్స్ బిఎన్డబ్ల్యూ రూల్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఏం లేవా సార్?
అది ఐ విల్ ఆన్సర్ యూ లేటర్ మేడం.
ఓకే
నేను పెట్టాను కానీ ఐ టోల్డ్ యూ రైట్, ఇట్ ఈస్ టు డూ విత్ pharmaceutical domain and the medical and healthcare.
ఓకే.
That's why I cited a passing remark చేశాను on the COVID or pre-COVID or during COVID times. There are many websites who have violated the norms, very norms, and exploited the public's mental ill health or mental anxious movements. Like the bright case is Patanjali himself, Baba Ramdev's claim. I don't say or denigrate it to false claim or a truthful claim, but he has claimed it and made good money, and later penalty was slapped on him. That is a peanuts when compared to the profits made. You understood, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I listen to that.
Yes.
సార్ సార్ సైక్యాప్స్ గురించి ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయరా? సైబర్ క్రైమ్ అనాలిసిస్ ప్రొఫైలింగ్ సిస్టమ్.
చెప్దాం సార్. You write it in the chat box. If not, you send it to me. You have my number, right?
Yes, sir.
You send it. We'll take another session or ఇంకా 2 sessions ఉన్నాయి or 3 sessions. 8 and 9 are there. 8, 9, 10 are there. We'll take in one of the.
ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ కి సంబంధించింది కూడా సార్, చైన్ అమౌంట్ చైన్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ కి సంబంధించింది. ఒకరి అకౌంట్ నుంచి ఒకరి అకౌంట్ కి ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ చేస్తే ఏ లాస్ట్ ఎండింగ్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ లో అమౌంట్ ఫ్రీజ్ చేస్తున్నారు.
ఓకే.
ఏ విధంగా ఫ్రీజ్ చేస్తున్నారు, అది ఏ విధంగా వర్క్ అవుతుంది అనేది కూడా.
You can elaborate further, but not at the expense of others' time. I submit, Ramakrishna Garu, you send an individual message so that we can take it up. If everybody wants to have a discussion on that, I will share some thoughts about me, and then I will reflect on it, and we can take up it in detail in the next session.
Correct, sir.
Yes, sir. There's no objection. You please go ahead.
Please write it in the chat box, Ramkrishna.
సార్
Yeah, tell Ramna, tell me.
సార్ ఎలక్షన్ ఓటర్ మిషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా సార్,
Yes.
ఈ ఓటర్ మిషన్స్ లో ఏదైనా అంటే ఏదైనా సమ్ మిస్టేక్స్, ఏదైనా ఎర్రర్స్ కానీ, ఏదైనా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ కానీ, ఏదైనా బై కండక్టింగ్ ఏదైనా జరిగినప్పుడు, మిస్ప్లేస్ జరిగినప్పుడు కానీ, ఇది సైబర్ నేరం కిందకు వస్తుందా, ఐటీ కిందకు వస్తుందా?
What is the difference between IT and cyber crime, sir?
అది దేంట్లోకి వస్తుందండి? సైబర్ నేరం కింద వస్తుంది
సార్. ఐటీ అన్న పదం యూజ్ చేయొద్దు. సైబర్ క్రైమ్ encompasses all the IT world, information technology. The very cyber crime is purported, perpetrated, or done, or offense committed is in the IT world.
ఓకే.
Your question is answered, or your answer is within your question itself.
ఓకే.
Tell me more, sir.
అది ఆ వాటర్ మిషన్ అనేది మిషన్ దాంట్లో మిస్టేక్ ఏదైనా జరిగినా అది దేని కింద కేసు అప్లై చేయాలి?
ఏ వాటర్ మిషన్ సార్?
ఈవీఎం మిషన్.
ఓటింగ్ మిషన్స్.
ఈవీఎం మిషన్, వీవీప్యాట్
వాటర్ మిషన్ కాదు సార్, ఓటింగ్ మిషన్.
Oh my God.
For EVM, sir.
ఓటింగ్ మిషన్.
Sir, voter machine is an electronic device.
ఓకే.
అంతే.
ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ డివైస్.
మన ప్రపంచమే సైబర్ క్రైమ్.
సైబర్ క్రైమే
అంతే, దానికి వేరే క్లాస్ లేదు. అక్కడ హ్యూమన్ ఇన్వాల్వ్మెంట్ లేదు కదా. అన్మాన్డ్, ఇప్పుడు డ్రోన్ అడిగింది మేడం, వాట్ ఈస్ ఇట్? ఇట్స్ అన్మాన్డ్ ఎయిర్క్రాఫ్ట్. వేర్ మ్యాన్ is involved, then conventional laws. When man is not there, electronics and the cyberspace is involved, it becomes cybercrime. But invoked and resultant is human. How? A missile is fired by a man, end result death for a human also. But missile is designed as an electronic device with a propellant, with a trajectory, with the electronics in it, giving direction to the missile itself, carrying the payload, which is an explosive material, goes and hits the target. Target is identified by coordinates, altitude, latitude, longitude, azimuth, and elevation. These are the coordinates. So with these coordinates being programmed into the missile takes the direction, takes the flight, goes and hits the target, causing harm to the human who is initiated by another human. But the crime happened by human to the human, but the impact or offense committed is the cyber crime, which is purported or perpetrated using electronics. And mind you, there is a software guiding the electronics. Followed, sir?
సడన్లీ సైబర్ మిస్టేక్స్ లో స్టాప్ అనే సిస్టమ్ మీద, ఎస్ఏపి అనే మోడ్యూల్ మీద మనం నడుస్తున్నాము. అందులో నుంచి వచ్చేసరికి స్లాష్ అనే ఇంకొక మోడ్యూల్ లోనికి కన్వర్ట్ చేసేటప్పుడు సడన్ గా కన్వర్ట్ అవుతున్నారు ఒక్కొక్కసారి.
సార్ నేను ఎస్ఏపి కన్సల్టెంట్. సార్ నేను ఎస్ఏపి కన్సల్టెంట్.
ఎస్ఏపి నుంచి కంపెనీ ఒకేసారి చేంజ్ అవుతుంది కదా సార్?
ఏ కంపెనీ
అయినా ఎస్ఏపి మోడ్యూల్స్ లో ఉన్న కంపెనీ ఒకటి రన్ చేస్తుంది అనుకుందాం. అది తీసుకొచ్చేసి వేరే మోడ్యూల్ ఒకేసారి పెడితే అప్పుడు అది మిస్గైడ్ అవుతుంది కదా
సార్? Are you talking about a rollout where the parental data is being transmitted to a subsidiary which is in outside of the boundaries of the parent company or parent jurisdiction called India, and the company's software is being rolled out in France as a different country, and a different subsidiary of this global company, which can be Procter and Gamble. My own project I have explained, because I went to France and did the rollout. Entire tax code I have done that for France.
Okay.
What else, sir? Anybody else? So thank you one and all for this live and interactive session. Sorry for the video minus or minus video. My apologies, I can't help it.
Thank you, sir.
And hope
Thank you.
everybody is
Thank you.
enlightened on the aspects of blocking of websites and the relevant section 69A, and the reason for blocking of domains or domain network systems or blocking of websites, and the governmental body which supervises with an oversight body uses 69A subsection 1 and 2, and subsection 2 talks about the justification and the grounds for which the certain websites are being blocked. So I hope you are enriched today, and God bless you for your patient listening. And we'll come up in the next session, come up with all the decent questions and the relevant questions pertaining to the topic. We can address these concerns in the next session, giving some few minutes for this session's questions to be answered in the upcoming ensuing session. God bless you all. Thank you all. And
Thank you,
good
sir.
night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you very
so
much,
much.
sir.
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you.
welcome. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.